Okay, so the first commander deck that we're going to be going over today is the Cabaret Cacophony. This is being streamed live on YouTube Live. You are more than welcome to subscribe to the channel so you are aware when I do go live so that you can join the live streams and have your comments show up during the live stream. This commander deck here is $114.82. Not as much as the $200 commander deck that we saw yesterday, but let's see what this deck has inside. The commander here is Kitt Kanto, Mayhem Diva. Kitt Kanto reads, first of all, Kitt Kanto, what a great name. I think, and I'll be able to suggest, once I know all five, I can definitely have a good suggestion for you. At least the most simple deck to play. But Kitt Kanto reads, when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. At the beginning of combat on each player's turn, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control. When you do, target creature that player controls gets +2/+2 and gains trample till the end of turn. Goad that creature. Okay, so we got a goading commander that we have to tap 2 untapped creatures we control in order to trigger that ability. And we're only allowed to do this to 1 creature an opponent controls. Which this kind of acts like removal, I guess, at some point. It does buff the creature, so it would be nice to just force our opponent to attack into someone that could block easily with the creature. So, I don't know. I think that would have been a bit more, at least if I played the deck, that would have been the route that I went, you know? But it is what it is. First card we have here is Leafkin Druid, okay? Sakura Tribe Elder. Okay, no big deal. Agitator Ant, more goad. Okay, we have the Best Soul Nourisher. This is a legendary creature, so this may be a commander for the new players that are watching. Whenever 1 or more creatures with base power and toughness 1/1 enter the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+2 encounter on Best Soul Nourisher. Whenever Best attacks, each other creature you control with base power and toughness 1/1 gets +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of +1/+2 encounters on Best. I think that there's other creatures in Magic the Gathering that have that same ability. Actually, if you know what those cards are, you can type it into the chat. But that's not the first time I've seen that ability, I'm pretty sure. But it's cool having that a legendary creature so that you have that in the command zone. But it sounds interesting that a 1/1 specifically has to enter the battlefield. I mean, I would just play cards that put counters onto Best, regardless of the 1/1s, and then just have creatures that have trample and attack with creatures. That just sounds fun. Or flying. We got a Champion of Lambhold. I'm not going to go over the cards that already exist. Magus of the Wheel, okay. Orzhov Advocist. I don't really understand the Magus of the Wheel here, if I'm being honest. It just seems like a card. It just seems really random. Rumor Gatherer. We have a whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card instead. Okay. Some card draw in white. A person can always appreciate that. We have Scoot Swarm. That's fun. We have Selvala. It's a nice way to draw cards. Wood Elves. Wood Elves is a good card. Zerzoth. Whenever an opponent draws their first card each turn. I don't understand. This just seems really random. It just seems like they just wanted to give people the ability to play Zerzoth. I don't really know the understand. It gives you creatures to tap, maybe. I think that's what, because this you have to tap 2 untap creatures you control. Okay. Oh yeah, that's definitely what it is. So this is a token creator. Harasser of the Endless Web, another token creator. Okay. Life of the Party. First strike, trample, haste. Whenever life of the party attacks, it gets +X/+0 until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. When life of the party enters the battlefield, if it's not a token, each opponent creates a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens are goated for the rest of the game. Oh, wow. Okay. It's a cool card. Master of Ceremonies. Each opponent chooses... Oh, this card seems like a lot. So you just either create tokens, draw a card, or... Yeah, one or the other. Okay. More... I'm noticing a lot of card draw. What's up, Rich? I'm noticing a lot of drawing cards for white. That's like a theme so far in this commander set. We have Sizzling Soloist. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature and opponent controls can't block this turn. If this ability, this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, that creature attacks during its control's next combat phase if able. Okay. Gahiji. Oh, I got Gahiji. Kazul. Okay. Fabine. Oh, this is the commander right here, man. I don't know. Maybe. This is the... I'm building this commander right here. Creature tokens you control have haste. Each, at the beginning of combat on your turn, each player reveals top card of the library. For each land card revealed this way, you create a 1/1. Then creatures you control get +1/+1 till the end of turn for each non-land card revealed this way. Then each player draws a card. Totally 100% taking my Rith the Awakener commander deck and just making Fabine the commander of that deck. 100%. We have a Thunderfoot Bailoff. It's a cool card. Quite expensive, $4 for a Thunderfoot Bailoff. We have Path to Exile. It's always good. Sylvan Offering. Okay. Artifact Mutation. Okay. Aura Mutation. Alright. Boros Charm. Indestructibility. That's nice. Martial Coup. Okay. Grand Crescendo. Create X/1/1 citizen creature tokens. Creatures you control gain indestructible at the end of turn. It's a good card right here. I mean, instant speed. Put all of your mana into this card. Cards like this win games. Definitely win games. And the fact that it gives you the ability to give your creatures indestructible kind of makes it more... What's the word I want to say? It's definitely much more powerful than the other versions of these type of cards that were created. Yeah, like Call the Coppercoats. It's already right here. Look at this. This is the same card as that one. That's cool. Cabaretti Charm. Alright. March of the Multitudes. Okay. Seize the Spotlight. For each opponent chooses Fame or Fortune. For each player who chose Fame, gain control of a creature that player controls. Okay. For each player who chose Fortune, you draw a card and create a treasure token. For 3 mana. Okay. That's cool. Harmonize. I would really like to copy a Fame or Seize the Spotlight. Get like 2 or 3 copies of Seize the Spotlight. Put this card inside the Grixis commander deck that's being released. I think that'd be pretty cool. We have Fell the Mighty. Indulge. Whenever a creature you control attacks this turn, create a 1/1. Alright. Create a treasure token for each creature you control until combat damage to a player this turn. Okay. That's not bad. Shamanic Revelations. Good card. Cabaret Confluence. Camaraderie. Crash the Party. I like these spells here. Create a 4/4 Green Rhino Warrior creature token for each tapped creature you control. That's just like instant speed. Oh, at the end of my beginning of my end step, pay 6 mana, create 4/4s. Seems good. Vivian Stampede. Is this like an overrun or something? Each creature you control gains Vigilance, Trample, and Melee until the end of turn. Okay. At the beginning of the next main phase, this turn, draw a card for each player who has dealt combat damage this turn. So it's like an overrun that wants you to attack multiple people. That doesn't buff your... Oh, it kind of buffs your creatures, I guess. So we have Soul Ring, of course, Arcane Signet, Bloodthirsty Blade, Felwar Stone, Idol Oblivion. It's always a good card. Commander Sphere, Scepter of Celebration, and False Floor. Okay. False Floor enters the battlefield tapped. Creatures enter the battlefield tapped. Exile False Floor, exile all untapped creatures. Activate only as a sorcery. Wait, let me read that again. Exile False Floor, exile all untapped creatures. Activate only as a sorcery. I mean, that seems cool. 4 mana, that's kind of expensive when you have cards that force people to enter the battlefield untapped for like 1 or 2 mana, generally. Intangible Virtue, Awakening Zone, okay. Beastmaster Ascension makes a lot of sense, that's the $9 card. Duelist Heritage, okay. Killer Service, oh, Duelist Heritage is really good inside this deck. This may be the best card inside this deck. Especially because you're giving, this is give Trample. Yeah, 2/2, Goad and Trample and Double Strike. Ooh, that's kind of intense. We have that Word in Service. Enters the battlefield, create a food token equal to the number of opponents you have. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 2 and sacrifice a token if you do. So you're basically just changing your tokens for 4/4s. That's cool. A prosperous partnership. Enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1s. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control, create a treasure token. We have Felidar Retreat. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. Create a 2/2. Yeah, Felidar Retreat. It's a great card. Assemble the Legion. Cool. Sandware Convergence. This card wins games. Okay, so that's all the cards inside this deck. I mean, and I see the lands. I'm not really going to go over the lands too much over here, I think. The Castle Ardenvale is pretty nice, actually. You know, I'm kind of mild on this commander deck right now. What do you guys think about this commander deck? I really don't... I mean, I see its ability to make tokens and to do the thing that it wants to do. But like, I don't know if I really want to be playing that deck. Honestly. I don't know. If I had to give this commander deck a review score, I mean, I gave the other one yesterday an 8. I gave the other one, the second one I reviewed, a 7. I'm thinking that this is like, if 5 is like super average, I think I just have to see this commander deck be played to really see how oppressive Kitt Kanto might be. But I just don't think this is a play style that I think that I enjoy. I don't know, it just seems like a deck that I wouldn't really want to play. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I'm going to say it's a 6. I don't think that... I don't see too many cards inside here where I look at Kitt Kanto and I look at that card and I'm like, oh, that's going to win somebody the game one game, you know? I don't really see too many of that. So because of that, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I would imagine that somebody's going to build a really powerful version this deck at some point, but until that happens, we're just gonna have to deal with that. So yo, if you're watching this live stream right now, you're enjoying this stream, please hit the like button, as it just helps to promote this video out to the rest of YouTube, so many new people may join the live stream at some point, hopefully. So that is the Cabaret Cacophony. It seems like a cool deck. It seems like a cool deck. I would have to see it being played in order for me to get the understanding of it. The only legends I'm interested in are Zeatora. Oh, Zeatora is awesome. And Agnes, the Dragon's Lash. Oh yeah, Zeatora, we're totally building Zeatora. Definitely. So, the next commander deck that we have here is Obscura Operation. So, this is the Kamiz commander deck, which says, whenever you attack, target attacking creature can't be blocked, and then you choose another attacking creature with lesser power, and that creature gains double strike until the end of turn. Cephalid Rogue. Listen, I think that this seems more of interesting to me already than the deck that we just reviewed. So the first card we have here is this card can't be blocked. When it deals damage, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Okay. I mean, it has the ability to be unblocked. It's alright. Whenever this becomes untapped, you may pay 2, draw a card. I mean, I kind of see where this is going. You're just drawing cards because you're attacking with unblocked creatures, which is interesting. It's new. Yeah, this has fear. So we have one... That can't... Yeah, 1, 2, 3 creatures so far that can already be unblocked. Oh, I get it now. Because technically, these creatures are going to gain double strike, which means that you're going to be drawing 2 cards every time they deal damage. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. This is cool. Yeah, Shadow. So this is essentially unblockable. Damage to opponent, draw a card and discard a card. Okay. That's actually draw a card, discard a card. This has discard a card, and then this also says discard a card. So there's a minor sub-theme in this commander deck where you're actually discarding cards, which means that opens you up to playing reanimation spells, so you can grab Sheldred the Whispering One and put Sheldred into play on turn 3 or turn 4. You know, we have a Cephalid Face Taker. Can't be blocked. Okay, at the beginning of combat in your turn, you may have Cephalid Face Taker become a copy of another target creature until the end of turn. Okay, that's interesting. So you could just create a copy of one of the creatures that draws these cards and they deal damage, I suppose. Seems interesting. Chasm Skulker. Okay, that's something you would want to give double strike. And then we have Daxos, more unblockable. Drana. I mean, I understand giving the creatures +1/+1 counters. And giving Drana first strike, or the double strike, actually sounds kind of intense. Yo, what's good, Charlie? Yeah, the first deck that I saw, Charlie, was... This one seems really fun. Because when Drana... Actually, no, that wouldn't work that way. She'd deal damage, and then she would deal damage again if she had double strike. So they only get 1 counter. So whenever Graveblade Marauder deals combat damage to a player, that player loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. See, there's a minor sub-theme of discarding cards. And I just think that this Graveblade Marauder is paying homage to that reality. Of a Nadir Kraken, I would take this card out of the deck. Shadow Mage Infiltrator, you play this. Thief of Sanity, you play this. Alayla, oh wow. I mean, I take this card out of the deck and build a commander deck with Alayla. That's what I do. Alayla's a great commander, everybody. I would buy this and just to get a copy of Alayla. Layla's a really good card. Identity Thief. Okay. Misfortune Teller. When Misfortune Teller enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, exile target card from a graveyard. Okay, it's one of those cards. Skyway Robber deals combat damage. You may cast an instant artifact or sorcery spell that you exiled. Okay, so it's just a creature that you can get back over and over again. Alright. Whirler Rogue. Wasn't there a deck yesterday that wanted to do the same thing? Aerial Extortionist. Exile a oh, okay. I mean, I wish this creature didn't cost so much mana. If this costs 2 mana, I think that would be cool. A 2 mana 1/2 with flying that exiles creatures or permanents and draws you cards. That would be good. Custody Lich, Monarch. Monarch seems like an important, it would be a cool thing. Dragon Lord Ojatai. Wow. I didn't see that one. This is another card you take out of the commander deck and then you just build a commander deck with Dragon Lord Ojatai. Yo, N, I'm gonna tell you, dude, this commander deck right here seems really fun and it seems really easy to play, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, this commander deck's pretty awesome, dude. If you were thinking of a commander deck to buy and it's your first commander deck ever, I think this one's really simple. And it's cool. Fallen Shinobi, alright. Oscar. Whenever you discard an online card, you may cast it from your graveyard. This is like Chainer. Okay. Archon of Coronation. Alright, I take that card out of the deck. We have a Sun Titan. Okay. We have Tivit, Seller of Secrets. Yeah, this is the one that makes treasure tokens. I mean, that seems like an alright commander. The mana cost is kind of high, but you know, seems fun. We have Rexiel. Rexiel's 15. Oh no, it's not Rexiel. Rexiel's $10. When deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. I mean, the fact that this is kind of gonna have unblockable seems pretty cool. Silent Blade Oni. Dude, this is a $15 magic card. How much is this deck? Oh, $126? Wow. Deals combat damage to a player. Oh, no wonder I put that inside the ninja commander deck I have. Offer you can't refuse. A 1 mana. Okay. Yo, that's a pretty decent counter spell right there, guys. Counter target non-creature spell for 1 blue mana. I mean, they create 2 treasure tokens, but like, I don't know if I really care. That's a pretty cool card right there. Guys, that's like a staple right there. I really like this card. Is that getting printed in the set, or is this just a commander card? That's the question. Swords to Plowshares. Change of Plans. That's another conniving thing. Jailbreak. Okay, return target permanent card in an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under their control. When that permanent enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target permanent card with equal or lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, for 2 mana, dude, for 2 mana, that's pretty decent. I mean, the 1-for-1 for 2 mana, that seems pretty good. And that goes to the whole sub-theme I was talking about, reanimation. Speaking of reanimation, I'm pretty sure this card is a reanimating spell. Obscura Charm, another semi-reanimation spell. I would take that card out of the deck. We have Lethal Scheme, destroy target creature or planeswalker. And then it connives for each creature you tapped, which means you can only really tap 2 creatures, so you get 2 counters. Your first commander deck was Neith. Yo, Charlie, that's a dope commander deck to be your first commander deck, dude. Wow, it's kind of intense, dude. We have the Utter End. Exile target non-land permanent. That's cool. A Nightmare. Dude, I just in my opinion, and I think everybody's, it could be worthless, but I think exiling creatures are just so strong in Commander. I appreciate them reprinting this card. Hopefully at some point this card is 25 cents, and then I'll spend $2 and I'll buy 8 of them. We have a Writ of Return. See, more reanimation. Oh, this has Cypher. Oh, that's a cool. In this deck, dude, you gotta play more. You gotta play a lot of Cypher inside this deck, man, because you're able to attack on block consistently. That's a good include. That's a really nice card right there. Austere Command. Speaking of really good cards, more Cypher. Stolen Identity. That's a great card inside this deck. Treasure Cruise. Duskal Dawn. Okay. Commit to Memory. Okay. Cards you don't mind if they're in your graveyard. What is this? Currency Converter. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. Tap 2. Draw a card, then discard a card. I'll take that card out of the deck. Wayfarer's Bauble. Arcane Signet. Ooh, Wayfarer's Bauble. Strionic Resonator. Hold up. If you copy Strionic Resonator, do you get the Kamiz trigger twice? That's the question of the day. So we have a Mask of Riddles, another something to give something unblockable essentially, and kind of gives you the ability to draw cards. Yo, and I'm telling you, bro, this is the Commander deck for you, man. I'm telling you. This is it. This is a great deck. Strionic Resonator? Come on. If I played Magic for the first time and I had a copy of Strionic Resonator, pff, come on. Oh, dude, this is rude. Equipped creature has Death Touch. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half his or her life rounded up. Mind you, you can give a creature double strike with Kamiz, which means that they would lose half their life and then they would lose half their life. Dude. And you would probably draw 2 cards out of that. Dude, this deck is awesome. Congrats to Wizards of the Coast, to everyone for making this Commander deck. We are genuinely appreciative of your efforts here. So this spell right here, if you're new to the game, has an ability called Split Second, which means that once you play this card, there's nothing anyone can do about it. That's Split Second. So, enchant creature, planeswalker, or clue. Enchanted permanent is a colorless clue artifact with... Okay, so you're just... It's kind of like a removal spell. This is a good card. This is a great card, actually. If it had flash, it would be even better. We have Smuggler's Share. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for another white card that's drawing cards. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn. Then create a treasure token for each opponent who had 2 or more lands enter the battlefield under their control. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's nice. Life insurance? Extort? Okay. I don't know why you'd want to play Extort inside this deck. Whenever a non-token creature goes away, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. I mean, that's a great card. I don't know if I want to play that inside this deck, but that's a great card. And this is a $9 land here. Fetid Heath. Okay. I'm gonna give this right out of the gate 9 out of 10. This deck, like, and I'm gonna tell everyone right now, whenever we review anything, I'm never going to give anything a 10 out of 10. Never. I will never give anything a 10 out of 10. I gave the Angelo deck yesterday an 8. This is a 9. I mean, for me personally, you know, and you're free, feel free to type in the chat what you would give this Commander deck, but this Commander deck seems like so much fun. And the way that they built this deck around, you're going to be drawing cards while dealing damage consistently. You're going to have stuff in your graveyard that you're going to want to reanimate. You're going to have creatures with powerful abilities that may attack unblocked, or may even have double strike to double on their abilities. You have a Quietus Spike, which is going to cause people to lose half their life rounded up. I mean, you have a whole bunch of great mana rocks. You got a Swiftfoot Boots, Cheonic Resonator. I mean, you have a Currency Converter. You got a lot of really good cards inside this deck. In Too Deep. I mean, that one commander spell, an offer you can't refuse, Swords to Plowshares. I mean, the list goes on and on. You can exile creatures with Nightmare and Making. I'm telling you, this commander deck right here, this is everything. 9 out of 10 so far. Maybe not my favorite card from deck from the entire set, but this just seems incredible. It seems like a lot of fun, man. Yo, what's good, Merrick? Okay, so that's Obscura Operation 12628. But this deck is, out of all the decks that I've seen so far, other than yeah, this deck seems like it's the most well built so far, and I've reviewed 4 of them so far. This is a fantastic commander deck. And then we have the final one. Let me go ahead and drink a little bit of this. Okay. So this is deck number 3. If you're here and you're new here, just so you're aware, we do have a Discord. We do review deck lists for our subscribers as well. We do also watch games of EDH live, and we do plan on playing EDH on live stream 1v1 games in the future. So if you're interested and you enjoy the vibe, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can be aware of when I go live. We also do have a Discord as well that you can join. The link will be in this, should be in the description, and you can go ahead and just know when we're going live. Okay. Also be aware that we do giveaways every single week, and this week we're giving away a copy of Kadena Slinking Sorcerer. If I can go ahead and grab the Kadena card. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera over there, but we are giving away this card this week, just so you are aware. All you need to do is just be subscribed and comment on any one of the videos throughout the week, and then you have a chance of winning. Or if you join the Discord and type giveaway, you get 3 entries into the giveaway. And now that's just me paying the bills, and now we move on. I will tell you, this is the Riveteer Rampage. I am immediately noticing this card is $99. This deck is $99. This is the cheapest or the lowest costed of all of the commander decks that we've reviewed so far, I will say. So we have Henzie Toolbox Tour. Says each creature spell you cast with mana value 4 or greater has Blitz. The Blitz cost is equal to its mana cost. Blitz says that you can cast a creature for its Blitz cost. When this creature dies, you draw a card, it gains haste, and you have to sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. So, it says Blitz costs you pay costs 1 less for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. Okay. So I think Henzie works really great inside of a partner commander deck, where really like a rogue rack and then another commander that costs free or is just really cheap to play. I think Henzie would be pretty cool inside there. Yeah, seems cool. We'll see what they did here. So obviously there should be some sort of reanimation theme with this. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a really big fan of playing black, red, and green. I think that this color combination is great. We have Overgrown Battlement. Let's go, Ben. Operations Considering Smuggler's Share is in that deck. You're 100% right, dude. That's a great removal spell. That removal spell is definitely worth. Oh, thank you for liking the video. Whoever liked the video, I saw that. I appreciate it. We have a Weathered Sentinels. This is a new card. Defender, Vigilance, Reach, Trample. Weathered Sentinels can attack players who attacked you during their last turn as though it didn't have Defender. Wow, that just seems like a... If I ever... Weathered Sentinels can attack players who attacked you during their last turn. Okay. For two damage. Whenever it attacks, it gets +3/+2 and gains indestructible. So you get 5 trample damage. Because you attacked me. Okay. I mean, I think that we immediately take this card out of the deck. I don't know if I really want that card inside this deck. Yo, I'll go ahead and actually have the link right here for a more perfect America. I will just drop this inside the chat right there. Let me actually just add this. Yo, if you're watching this on YouTube later, I'm adding this to the description, and it's there right now. So thank you for the other like. I just saw that pop up again. I appreciate it. Wow, you guys are liking the video now all of a sudden. Thank you. I appreciate that. But there you go, Ben. It's oh, you guys are. Oh yeah, you're talking about the white enchantment. Does seem like a good card. We got Disciple of Bolas over here. It's a good card. Easy to get, helps you to get other creatures into your graveyard, you know? We got a First Responder. At the beginning of your end step, you may return another creature you control to its hand, then put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to that creature's power on First Responder. This is a fantastic card. Just giving you the ability to put, I mean, I have probably 7 commander decks that could use this card. Just being able to, for free, put a creature you control back to your hand to then use it again. This is great. This is a great card. Yo, what's good? All Control Repeat. That's a new face right there, man. Never seen that person before. Oh, you're 100% right about that. Yo, if we had Luke in the chat, Luke plays Arcades. He would be going nuts about that card right now, probably. Thank you for the other like. I just saw that. I appreciate that. So we have a Grime Gorger. So whenever Grime Gorger attacks, exile up to 1 card from each of each what? Exile up to 1 card of each card type from defending player's graveyard. Oh man. Put a +1/+1 counter on Grime Gorger for each card exiled this way. I mean, this seems like a really cool card. I just don't know if you really want to play that inside this deck. You know? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this seemed like a cool card. We have Jolene, the Plunder Queen. Whenever a player attacks one or more of your opponents, that attacking player creates a treasure token. If you would create 1 or more treasure tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional treasure token. Sacrifice 5 treasures, put 5 +1/+1 counters on Jolene. I mean, Gruul treasure tokens? That seems really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That seems great, actually. So we have a Solemn Simulacrum. When it enters the battlefield, everybody knows Solemn Simulacrum does. We got a Temur Sabertooth here. What I'm noticing is that because of the Temur Sabertooth and the other creature over here, the First Responder, you're basically going to be blitzing creatures onto the battlefield and then returning them back to your hand before they go away, which seems really good. Yo, this card, I want this card. This is my favorite card, I think, out of all the cards that got released. The Beamtown Bullies. Vigilance Haste. Target opponent whose turn it is puts target non-legendary creature from your graveyard onto the battlefield under their control. It gains haste. Goad it. At the beginning of the next end step, exile it. It just seems like such a fun card. It just seems like such a cool card, man. Definitely building that commander. 100%. We have a Wave of Rats. When Rave of Rats dies, if it dealt combat damage to a player this turn, return to the battlefield under its owner's control. This is 4 mana. I mean, that actually seems pretty cool. I like the full art version of this card a lot. I would play that card just because it's cool. Right? Oh, dude. Beamtown Bullies and Leveler? Oh, dude. That seems nasty, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna look up. Remind me to look up the Leveler after I'm done reviewing the deck, just so I can show everybody, show chat what that card does. So we have a World Shaper. Okay. We have, ooh, that's actually pretty nice with Blitz. We have Bellowing Mauler. At the beginning of your end step, each player loses 4 life unless they sacrifice a creature token. Okay. A non-creature, a non-token creature. Creature token. Oh, cut this card. Crush, the Blood Braided. We have, whenever another creature is put into graveyard from play. Oh, this is a great commander. This is a cool card. It's a classic. We have Metzio Muggler, or Mugger. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. You may play those cards this turn and spend mana as though they were any mana color to cast those spells. Blitz for 3. That's a fun card. I don't know if it really needs to, if we really want to be doing that, but it seems cool. I mean, in the limited environment of just playing the precons, I think that's fun. Yeah, the bullies seems like a... This commander over here is going to be awesome. So we have Thragtusk, okay. A Mitotic Slime, okay. A Tali, that's... I mean, how many times have they and this card's 74 cents right now. How many times have they reprinted a Tali and it's not 25 cents? I feel like a Tali, every single time there's a new commander set, they reprint a Tali. We have a Green Warden of Marasa. I want Zakama. Reprint Zakama. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Whoever just liked the video. Thank you. I saw that. You're right, Merrick. You're 100% right. Yo, Merrick in the chat. I want everybody to know Merrick has played Magic the Gathering for 22 years. Yo, I appreciate the like. Thank you for liking the video. I just saw that. Yo, Merrick has played Magic for 22 years. I just want everybody to know that. We have a Green Warden of Marasa. Green Warden of Marasa enters the battlefield. You may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. When it goes away, you may exile it. If you do, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. That's a cool card. Inferno Titan. Okay. I have a command. Maybe we can do a commander. I have a commander deck that really uses for Inferno Titan a lot. A Noxious Gearhulk. That's always a cool card. Avenger of Zendikar. I mean, why not? A Deathbringer Regent. Okay. Giant Ataphage. Yo, there's a lot of... Well, you're kind of cheating. Thank you for the like. I just noticed that somebody liked. I appreciate it. Thank you. We have a Stalking Vengeance. Okay. We have a Tree Shaker Chimera. I mean, if this gets blitzed, that is just... Oh, man. That's such a cool card, man. To blitz this... Oh, I'm just gonna blitz this for 2 mana. All your creatures have to block this. What a cool card. Woodfall Primus. Ooh, that's a great card. Persist. So essentially this card reads destroy 2 target non-creature permanents. Wait, this can destroy lands? Wow, okay. That seems kind of intense. Yeah, I think you're 100% right, Merrick. These decks are pretty good. We have an Artisan of Kozilek. I mean, okay. This is just a, this seemed, nobody would ever, I don't think, outside of the limited environment, I think it'd be rare that people were going to be playing this card. However, in a limited environment, because this card is Annihilator 2, this card will just straight up, this card by itself will win games. Just by itself. Annihilator 2? What? Come on. Blitzed? Come on, man. That's such a good card. Life's Legacy. Dude, that almost makes me think that when you build this commander, you literally just play a bunch of creatures with Annihilator and then just blitz all of them. So then we have Life's Legacy, Rampant Growth, Terminate, Chaos Warp. Okay. It's a cool one. Painful Truths, Victimize, Migration Path, Aether, Snap. Okay. Oh, this card is kind of just there because of the meta. Because they're going to be playing the other commander decks that have all the counters. This is a super meta card. Because this card exists, this just shows how ridiculous the other decks are because of all the counters that they play. This limited environment's going to be intense with counters. So choose 3. You may choose one of the same. I think draw a card, lose life, deal damage. Okay, you get a land. All right. Windgrace's Judgment. This is a really good removal spell, actually. Instant speed. You destroy 3 non-land permanents. That's great. A Blasphemous Act. Wow, dude, they reprinted Blasphemous Act a lot, and it's still $3. Such a good card. Then we have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, Commander Sphere, Dodgy Jalopy. Powers equal to the highest mana value among creatures you control. Crew 3. Scavenge. Oh, wow. Scavenge for 3. Question, chat. Does this... It says the power is equal to the highest mana value among creatures you control. Even when it's in the graveyard, it's equal to the highest mana value among creatures you control. Because Scavenge for 3, when you have creatures that cost 9 mana, potentially on the battlefield, means that you could buff a creature by 9 +1/+1 counters. Which seems kind of intense. For 3 mana, by the way. 3 mana. Seems great. We have a Glittering Stockpile. Yes, right? Yeah, Cole? Word. Seems good, man. We have a Lifecrafters Bestiary, which will help you to, or Bestiary, which is going to help you to draw cards. We have Evolutionary Leap. That's a fun card. Garruk's Uprising. This card could low-key win you a game. Next of Kin. When a enchanted creature dies, you may put a creature card you own with lesser mana value from your hand or from the command zone onto the battlefield. If you do, return next of kin to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of your next end step. That's so cool. That's a good card. I mean, I would play this in my Prime Speaker Vanifar deck. Definitely. Protection Racket. At the beginning of your upkeep, repeat the following process for each opponent in turn order. Reveal the top card of your library that player may pay. So this is the... Okay. It seems like an interesting card. That seems like a fun card. I don't know if that really goes with what this deck wants to do, but it's a nice card to print. We have a Death Reap Ritual. See, this makes sense. If a creature died this turn, you may draw a card. Okay. That's cool. Industrial Advancement. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, look at the top X cards. Ooh, I really want this card. If you do, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that creature's mana value. You may put a creature card from them among the battlefield. This is good inside of a deck where you're just taking your opponent's creatures and then just sacrificing them to this ability. That seems really fun. We have Reign of Riches. When Reign of Riches enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. The first spell you cast each turn that mana from a treasure was spent to cast has Cascade. That's fun. Once again, like, I'm noticing there's a lot of cards inside this deck that are cool. I just don't necessarily think that they work really well with what this deck is asking or wanting to do. They're just cool to have. That's just an observation that I'm having at this moment. We have Turf War. Oh, this is cool art. When Turf War enters the battlefield, for each player, put a contested counter on target land that player controls. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, if that player controls 1 or more lands with contested counters on them, that creature's controller gains control of one of... What? That creature's controller gains control of one of those lands of their choice. So we're basically trading lands back and forth. Wait, and is it only 1 land? If that player controls 1 or more lands with contested counters on them. Oh, gains control of 1 of those lands. Dude, I was gonna say, oh, thank you for the like. I just noticed that somebody liked the video. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But notice how we have... They put 1 of those lands. I think that would be pretty intense if they were just like... I just blink Turf War over and over again, and then I'm like, deal damage, give me all your lands. That's totally something I would do. We have a Warstorm Surge. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's actually low-key a really good addition to this deck. And I would put as many cards that had abilities like a Warstorm Surge inside this deck. I would, you know, I think that it's difficult to me. If I'm gonna give this deck a score right now, I would give this commander deck a 7 out of 10. Please understand this commander deck has a bunch of really cool cards, but there's a lot of cards that just seem like they're just there, you know, that it doesn't really, like this commander deck right here, like this one, like all of this flows. All of these, like literally almost every card flows together, right? Everything here flows. But like inside here, there's a lot of moments where I'm looking at the cards and I'm just like, I don't know if I would keep that card inside the deck, you know? I don't know if I would play an Overgrown Battlement inside of a Blitz themed commander deck, you know? So... And we have this card over here that's whited out. So give me a moment while I look up this card. But I would give this commander deck a 7 out of 10. I think it has a bunch of really cool cards inside of it. I just don't necessarily think that it's anything that is... It doesn't flow too well, you know? I think out of all the commander decks... If I had to rank them in order, I would give... I think that the Cabaret Cacophony would be last. I would rank this 5th. I would rank the Riveteer Rampage 4th. I think that the Parry Commander deck, I would rank 3rd. I would rank Unhello 2nd, and then I think that this Obscura Operation is 1st, man. This deck, I mean, in my opinion, this just seems like a lot of fun for me to play. And the Unhello deck seemed really cool too, but this deck over here is just so synergistic that I think in a limited environment, this deck is really gonna... The card advantage that you get from this deck is gonna be intense. And this costs 4 mana to play. And you got a lot of really good mana rocks. This deck is good, man. So yeah. My two decks from most synergistic from the box, Bant and Obscura. Yeah, you're right. The parry deck also seems, and not only that parry commander deck has a ton of combos where it's like I wipe the entire board on my opponent's side and I'm left with everything I control. So I think that commander deck, I think that parry's gonna win more games than lose games. You know, if you're playing against a parry, be aware that they may just wipe the board and attack with all their creatures, you know? Which is it's a pretty powerful play. A Kessig Wolf Run is definitely something to be aware of. This is a good land. But yeah, so that's all 5 of the deck lists. You know, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the 29th of this month. I think that's next week. So this will be fun. But yeah, so generally, now that we have completed the main purpose or the title of this stream, we usually move on into the Discord. Just be aware that on this channel, we do have a Discord server where everyone gets together and we talk about Magic and just talk about Magic and just chill, honestly. We do have a decklist review tab where people upload their commander decks onto the decklist review tab, and then we review it live on stream in front of everyone so that we all can take a look at what people have. A lot of these people, or some of these people, are brand new to the game, so we have to be respectful and patient in teaching them, and this is an opportunity for everyone to work together to help people to become better Magic the Gathering players. So the commander deck, although I think that this commander deck right here seems like it's more of like a funny commander deck, we're gonna be reviewing a user named Butter83 in our Discord uploaded this commander deck. The commander to this commander deck is Corona, the False God. I always ask people to write a description of the commander deck in the Discord. Link to the Discord description below. And they wrote, this is a 2019 current times Corona COVID-19 theme built deck built around all the stuff that has gone in the world over the past 3 years or so. Butter83, thank you for uploading this deck list. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look at this. Listen, if I look at this, I'm not gonna have too much to suggest because I think that this is your own creative. I think if you were here to talk about the commander deck, then we may understand, right, Charlie? We may understand a little bit more. But if you're here watching this live, be aware that Butter will probably go into the comment section after the fact to explain the deck in the comments. And I think it would be funny to read. So you have an Alpine Meadow. Please, if you're watching this in chat, like if you understand some type of reference to COVID-19 in this at any point in time, feel free to type the reference into the chat because sometimes things go right over my head. Okay, so we have an Alpine Meadow. I don't know if the lands are gonna really be where they would insert the Urborg. A Pithing Needle. Okay. Okay, that's a. I think anyone could understand that. Okay, we have a Soul Ring. Okay, I don't understand the COVID reference with the Soul Ring. I understand the Pithing Needle. That COVID reference. I think that's pretty funny, actually. We have a Circle of Protection artifacts. I see a lot of Circle of Protections over here as well, if I'm being honest. We have Conversion. At the beginning of your piece, sacrifice Conversion unless you pay 2 mana. Okay. We have a Death Grip. Okay. Okay. Hey, that's kind of meta, actually. That's really meta. We have a Beacon of Unrest. Okay. A Cathartic Reunion. I get it. After the lockdown, everybody got to see each other again. Okay. I get it. That was definitely a cathartic reunion. The chasm of years and worlds collapse under the power of their embrace. A cleansing wildfire? Oh man. This is kind of dark. Oh man. Hey, let's take a moment. We'll have a moment of silence for the people that were actually legitimately affected by this. Okay, thank you, universe, for allowing all of us to be here today, 100% healthy, and allowing everyone to understand, to breathe some positivity into something that was actually kind of intense for the world. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that respectfully. I probably should have done that at the beginning, but all right, where were we? Next card we have here is Cultivate. We have a Dark Petition. Okay, search your library for a card. Okay. Devastation Tide. This is, first of all, I want everybody to notice this deck costs $297. Because there's a Diabolic Tutor. Okay, we have a Farseek. Flood of Tears. Oh, that's why we just had the moment of silence, everybody. A Fractured Identity. Okay. Head Games. I have this card actually. We have a Hurricane. Okay. Mastermind's Acquisition. Pox. Rampant Growth. Remember the Fallen. Ruinous Ultimatum. Shard Convergence. Solve the Equation. Okay. Star of Extinction. Summer Bloom, Sylvan Scrying, Tsunami. Okay. Creature, Anarchist. Basilica Screecher. We have Gurmag. Why? Oh, the bats. The bats. I get it. I see. I understand the reference here. Didn't it originate from bats? You should have all the bats inside this commander deck, I would imagine. A Bribery counter. Ooh, this is meta. We have a Hornet Nest, a Hornet Queen, Hesperia Supreme Judge, Namana Sky Dancer, Phage Untouchable, Plaguecrafter, Tajuru Blight Blade, Turgrid, Veteran Explorer, and Void Beckoner. So we have a Blind Obedience. That's kind of, I understand the reference here. Circle of Protection series, you would have to put that in the chat, Butter, for me to understand having the Circle of Protections. Eye of the Storm, Pestilence, that's fair. Propaganda, okay. Shared Fate, Shifting Sky, Sphere of Safety, it's fair. Tainted Remedy, great. Virulent Plague, great. Widespread Panic. What is this card? Whenever a spell or ability causes his controller to shuffle his or her library, that player puts a card from his or her hand on top of his or her library. Okay. Aether Spouts, Beacon of Immortality, Liberate, False Cure. Oh man. Flash Flood, Moment's Peace. I really enjoyed this card a lot. It's a good card. Panic, Reigns of Power, and Riot Control. Okay, I mean, I don't know how this deck would play necessarily, but I respect Butter's ability to just combine all of these cards together. You notice you said suggestions are welcome, nothing over $5. I want to know if you actually own this commander deck, Butter. I think that would be cool to know. And I suppose I'll say that if at some point, if I come up with a funny thing to add to this, I'll type it in the comments in this video. But it's a pretty funny commander deck. I think the best thing that I saw here was the Pithing Needle. I thought that was actually kind of funny. And then everything else was cool. Everything else was definitely cool. So, Butter, thank you for allowing me to laugh today. Hopefully other people in the chat were laughing. It's nice to make light of some things in life. Okay, so we have that. There's a whole bunch of other commander decks. If you would like your commander deck to be featured in one of these live streams, all you need to do, peace out, Merrick. All you need to do is all you would have to do, if you would like to, is go into the Discord. Discord's in the description below. And then you can click on the Decklist review tab, upload your decklist there, and then eventually we'll get it on the stream for everyone to see. Generally, these decks are a bit more educational, these portions, but I think every now and then to see videos like this, I think it's pretty funny. So what we got going on right now? It is now an hour and literally 1 hour, 11 minutes and 11 seconds when I checked. So what we're gonna do right now is watch a game of Commander. So we always watch a game of EDH. We've been watching this channel called BtGameNight recently, and they play a tournament series where they play 1v1 Commander in a tournament style bracket. And the last episode we watched Arabo play against Rurik Thar, and the episode before that it was Niv Mizzet against Rurik Thar, and then Arabo against Bruvak. Arabo won, Niv Mizzet won, and now the next video I believe that we have here is Herald, King of Skemfar versus Turgrid, the God of Fright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this video. Let's get this uploaded. I'll put this in HD really quickly. And then what we're going to do is mute the music just for a moment. We're going to drag this over. Yo, like what I always say in these videos, we are watching, this is the channel here. The link to this channel is in the description below. So if you would like to subscribe to the BtGameNight channel, go ahead. This channel is amazing. They have a bunch of really fun Commander games to be watched, and they're all 1v1 Commander as well. So it's just kind of new. And the videos are relatively short, which is why we're watching them. And so I'm going to do this right now because this is what I always do. I'm going to like this video, and then I'm going to go down in the comments, and I'm going to say thank you. Please, while you're watching this, if you have the opportunity, I'm going to post the link to this video inside the description right now, and I'll also post it in the chat. And please, when you get the opportunity, head over to this video and just drop a like at least, or comment and say thank you, hashtag coach team or hashtag coach or something, so they know we sent them over. And in the future, as this channel grows, we're going to raid smaller channels to help them grow their community, you know. BtGameNight is a family-friendly channel. This is a family-friendly channel over here as well, so it's pretty... I want to show support to the individuals that know, or put the effort, because it requires a ton of effort to speak with clean language, because there are kids that watch YouTube. So I'm going to put this to full screen. And here we go. Let me just go ahead and put the volume up on the OBS so we can hear the video. And we will go from there. And thank you for liking the video. I appreciate you liking the video. Okay, here we go. Let me just zoom in. Okay, so we got Herald, King of Skemfar, like I said, and then we have Tergrid, God of Fight. Who do I think is going to win? I'm going to type in the chat right now. Please type in the chat who you think is going to win. I'm going to say 1v1 Commander. I mean, discarding in 1v1 Commander seems kind of intense. So I'm going to type Tergrid into the chat because I think Tergrid's going to win. And then we'll go from there, see what happens.
Time. Let's jump in and check out those opening hands. First, in this corner, with an opening hand of 3 swamps, Soul Ring,
yo, the music,
Rot, Vampiric Tutor, Cryptghast, and his mono black general Tergrid, God of Fright. He is yours truly, the host, BT.
I mean, turn 1 tutor seems good.
Next, in this corner, with an opening hand of Evolving Wilds, a forest, a swamp, Beast Within, Growing Rites of Itlamok, Worldly Tutor, Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and his Golgari-style general Herald, King of Skemfar. He is the unpredictable Jimmy.
These videos are funny.
Jimmy won the dice roll to start us off, so let's begin our first Kaldheim card fight.
Let's see.
For our first turns, Jimmy plays Evolving Wilds.
Okay.
While I play a swamp into a turn 1 Soul Ring. And during my end step, Jimmy sacks his wilds to net a forest from his deck into play tapped.
He did have a tutor in his hand.
Jimmy plays a swamp.
He could have played a tutor there.
While I also play a swamp and cast Cryptghast to double my mana and pass.
He's off to a really fast start here.
Jimmy casts Worldly Tutor.
Still has that tutor in his hand.
He uses this to place Reclamation Sage on the top of his deck. Jimmy plays Nykthos and casts said Reclamation Sage.
Takes out
using its ETB to blow up my ring to slow me down.
If he gets out in a swamp, he can play Tergrid.
I play a basic and cast my general, Tergrid.
There we go.
God of Fright.
Whoa, that was cool. Let's get Tana.
I also pay the Extort from my Cryptghast, draining Jimmy for 1 before passing. Jimmy plays a forest and has no interest in hanging out with Tergrid and casts Beast Within to replace it with a 3/3 Beast token before passing.
Well, if he gets a swamp into play, he can still play Tergrid again next turn.
For my turn, I cast 3 spells. Those spells are Grave Pact.
Oh, man.
Tortured Existence.
Okay.
And finally, Vampiric Tutor.
Nice.
Which I pay 2 life to tutor a card to the top of my deck before passing the turn.
Cryptghast is the MVP right now.
And casts Fauna Shaman. Followed by Growing Rites of Itlamok. With his new enchantment, he checks his top 4 cards.
Yo, thank you for the like.
Chooses to add acidic slime from them.
I just noticed somebody liked the video. Thank you.
And places the rest on the bottom of his deck before passing.
I mean, Growing Rites is a great card. Now my dude has a tutor as well.
Recast Tergrid. I pay the Extort, drain lifing Jimmy once more for 1 before passing. Jimmy starts his turn by casting his general, Herald.
That's so funny, dude.
With its ETB, he checks his top 5 cards looking for an elf.
Word.
But sadly, despite the fact that over 50% of his deck are all elf cards, he whiffs this time, receiving no elves, and is forced to pass
man.
after bottoming the cards.
Have faith. Have faith. It's not looking good, but you still gotta have faith.
By casting Shepherd of Rot. And finally, unleash a big spell and cast Fraying Omnipotence.
Oh, man.
Extorting the spell and drain lifing Jimmy for 1.
I think this is GG because of the Grave Pact.
Then we each lose half of our life, discard half the cards in our hand, with each of us discarding 2 cards. And then we sacrifice half our creatures in play, with me sacrificing my Beast token and Shepherd, while Jimmy sacrifices his Sage and Shaman.
Grave Pact.
But thanks to Grave Pact, he is also forced to sack his General, which he puts back into the command zone.
Grab the Reclamation Sage,
thanks
dude.
To my General's effect, Jimmy's sacrificed Sage and Shaman go to play under my control.
Yeah.
I should have also gotten his Greater Good that he discarded earlier, but I only saw the Patriarch's bidding on the top of his cards that went to the graveyard that got discarded, so I guess I'll have to live without it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause that right there. My dude knew exactly what he was doing. He put that, maybe he didn't, but like, it's just so people are aware, when Turgrid says whenever you discard a card or sacrifice a permanent, everything that's sacrificed or discarded goes into play under the player who controls Turgrid's control. And this guy knows that he's playing against Turgrid. He just had to discard a copy of Greater Good, which is an enchantment that says sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard 3 cards. I could see why, when he put the cards away, notice how he put the Patriarch's bidding over here on top, and then he's obscuring the Greater Good right there. That's an enchantment that has to go onto this. That has to go over there on this side of the board right now. But my Spidey sense is saying that was a sly move there, because the sacrifice a creature clause on the Greater Good in combination with the Greater Good that's already in play just basically says that this dude over here on the left cannot play creatures for the rest of the game.
So I guess I'll have to live without it. With the Sage's ETB, I destroy Jimmy's Itlamok. Then I move into combat and attack Jimmy with Turgrid for 4 damage.
Fraying Omnipotence is a great card in that deck.
Not wanting to have to sacrifice any more creatures, Jimmy casts his Acidic Slime he got earlier. With its ETB, he destroys my Grave Pact.
Necessary.
And passes. For my turn, I cast one of my favorite mono black cards, Bolus's Citadel.
Oh man.
I then check my top card and cast it, which is Machias the Unhallowed, which costs me 6 life. I then check my top card again, which is a Swamp, which I play as my land for the turn.
Should have Greater Good right now.
Once more, and again, I pay 2 life to clinch the game and cast Smallpox.
Okay.
This causes each player to lose a life, discard a card, as well as sacrifice both 1 creature and 1 land. This time, Jimmy immediately hands me the card that he discarded, which I get to put into play thanks to Turgrid, which is Lightning Greaves. Then I sack a basic and Jimmy's Shaman, while Jimmy sacks his Slime and a Forest, which, thanks to Turgrid, go to play under my control.
Oh, that's GG.
With the Slime's ETB, I destroy one of Jimmy's Swamps.
Oh.
Then I move my new Lightning Greaves onto Machias and move into combat.
Scoop.
I attack Jimmy with everything that can attack, which deals him lethal damage, giving me the win.
Yeah.
Normally at this point of the video, I like to highlight the MVP cards here, the ones that did the most work, if you will. But for today, let's have a quick chat about Tergrid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here just to the
generals that can get out of hand quickly, like Golos,
yeah, we're gonna look at this over here. There's no brackets actually in this video. So Tergrid moves on inside this tournament. Okay. That was a fun video. I think everyone probably knew that was gonna happen there. And Tergrid's a great card. You just have to just remove Tergrid as quickly as possible. And that's the way the cookie crumbles when you're playing against discard 1v1. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower this music. Okay, so generally now this is when we end the stream. I want to thank everyone for being here today. If you're new to this live stream, we do go live generally around between 12 p.m. Eastern, generally 11 p.m. Eastern, sometimes 1 o'clock Eastern. We also just do a whole bunch of things. You know, I think in the future, when we get to this point, I think I'm gonna start playing Pokemon, honestly, just to get some more content onto the channel. I think I'm gonna do a Nuzlocke of Pokemon at some point. And just to break up the whole Magic the Gathering, constantly making Magic content is kind of a lot. So just doing something a bit different seems kind of fun for me, and I think it would be kind of intense. So that's where we're gonna end it, okay? Thank you to BtGameNight for making this video, and if you're here watching this, the link to this video is in the description below. You're more than welcome to subscribe and like that video and subscribe to that channel and support them on Patreon if they have a Patreon. Okay, so hope everybody has an amazing rest of the day. I always end these videos by saying the same thing, okay? Eat healthy, or as healthy as you can, okay? Work out every single day, if you can. Not even if you can, you can just do one squat. Just like sit down in a chair and stand up 5 times and you're done. And then most importantly, you gotta believe in yourself, alright? Peace out, people. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna get some food right now.